Hey everybody, this is Devin from YourFieldersChoice.com. I'm joined by my buddy Pete. How you doing, Pete?
Good. How's everything going today?
Hey, it's Thursday. We're another day closer to Sunday NFL, and we got our first taste of NFL with some Thursday night football. So we're gonna jump right into things here. Just a nice quick look at some of Pete's top plays on tonight's game for the showdown slate. Of course, we have the Colts at the Titans. The Colts are surprisingly 1 point favorites with an implied total of 24.75. And of course, that means Tennessee has an implied total of 23.75. So let's jump right into it. Who is your favorite cash captain play tonight?
All right. Well, right away, I'm going up with Derrick Henry because I just think this game, if anything, I just think this is kind of a trap line. I think Tennessee's a much better team than Indianapolis, and if I'm going to run that, that means I got to run a Tennessee captain. It's going to be Derrick Henry. I mean, I think he makes sense on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Yes, he's getting subbed a bit more than he used to be on third downs. I mean, he's no longer getting targets like he used to, but still, it's Derrick Henry. He's going to get force fed, especially in the red zone. To me, I think he's got an immense floor tonight, and I mean, immense ceiling. I don't think his floor is would be as high as it used to be, but I've gotten to the point now when I'm playing these captain spots on DraftKings and FanDuel, I want the highest projected points, and he's the one I think that could take over the slate. I think he also may be a little bit low owned. I think because of his numbers have dropped a little bit. He's no longer that 30 carry a day guy, probably more between like 18 and 22 carries. But hey, he's no longer bell cow. But I can see him scoring two touchdowns. That's all he needs. And Derrick Henry is by far my top captain tonight.
And I mean, ultimately, he is the best player on the slate,
Right.
which gives him the most upside. And he loves primetime games. Chris was actually just pointing out he's a big Titans fan
Good point.
that all these famous stiff arms are all primetime games. So he shows up for these games.
That's a very good point. So you're right. That's so I'm all in on Derrick Henry tonight. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of either quarterback. I don't think they don't have the ceilings tonight. So it's a Derrick Henry kind of game. Because I just think if anything, they're going to feel. I think the Titans are not going to like this whole line. I think they're a better team, and they actually, they short up their secondary with getting Desmond King. So I think they're going to come in kind of a chip on their shoulder. And if anybody, it's going to be Derrick Henry is going to roll with that chip on their shoulder.
Makes a lot of sense. And so if you're going to get Derrick Henry, obviously he's expensive. What's some value options that you like in order to fit him at that captain spot?
First of all, I like Corey Davis a lot. Corey Davis, I mean, you could actually fit him in the captain if you wanted to at 11.7. I mean, which is actually a really cheap captain, but he's probably mostly going to be in my utility flex slots, and that brings down to 7,800. Um, he's just playing. He's a competent receiver now. I mean, he's a picture of consistency. He's and it's also I mean, here's a guy who's gotten 10 targets and two times this season. He's got a better floor and pretty much point per dollar, average better than I think A.J. Brown. He's the type of guy that moves the sticks while everybody else is worrying about Henry and A.J. Brown. They're forgetting about Corey Davis. And if all you want, you can run the narrative street tonight, which is kind of a sad news. But his brother Titus Davis passed away, and if anybody that's played CFB DFS back in the day, I mean, remembers Titus Davis. He was huge for Central Michigan. He broke all kinds of records, all the Antonio Brown records. I mean, so if anything, I know Mike Vrabel's a player coach. I could see Vrabel getting down toward the end of the game. They're up by touchdown two, and they get a chance of getting Corey Davis a touchdown just for that whole narrative thing. So, and that I think he's playing tonight. I haven't seen anything where he's not. So I think Corey Davis is definitely a great play at that price. He's a moving the sticks type of guy where AJ Brown he has the big time plays, but I like Corey Davis a lot.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, he is expected to play, and that narrative, as sad as it is, we've seen that in the past, and oftentimes that player shows out. It's a way to get their mind off of it, and they're really dialed in. And I mean, like I said, we've seen that time and time again. Where as sad as it is a narrative that really does hold weight. And I certainly agree with that, and I like Corey Davis quite a bit. He's had a sneaky good year. He's always had the talent. He never really had a quarterback. He finally has a quarterback, starting to develop a little chemistry with him. and we're starting to see that. Any other value plays you like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on the Colts tonight, and I'm just looking through their lineup. I mean, there's really not that many I I'm in love with. Naheem Hines, I guess. I don't mind his price. And Hines is at I think 6'2".
Yeah.
And yes, he's 6'2". And I think if if we go to the game script, which I believe is going to happen, which is going to be Tennessee is going to go up ahead and they're going to be run ahead the most of the game, I think that gives Hines the upsides. I think River is going to use Hines as kind of this check down guy. We've seen him do it with Melvin Gordon. We've seen him do it with Austin Eckler, which I think that's going to take guys like Taylor and Jordan Wilkins out of the game. And this is the type of game for Naheem Hines where it's a split backfield, no doubt. But I mean, they're going to catch him low ownership, and this is the type of game you're going to get him points at 6,200. So I like Naheem Hines, would be low owned. And also, I guess you go to Trey Burton. I mean, Burton is 5'6", 5,600. He's got 3 touchdowns over his last 3 games. He's got over 50 yards in one of those games. And he's got Jack Doyle is unlikely to play, and now it looks like Mo Alley Cox is questionable. So if both of those guys are out, to me, Trey Burton becomes a key player here. I mean, he's also touched the ball. I mean, more than normal, and he's actually run the ball a couple of times. So a 5'6" Burton, I think, is a big time play for them tonight. It's going to probably make most of my lineups as the Colts.
Yeah, I think especially if Cox and Doyle are out, or even one of them, Phillip Rivers loves the tight end, always has. And they're using Burton in a ton of these Wildcat things because he was a college quarterback. So he actually has,
Yeah.
they've done this Wildcat because he can throw, he can run, and then obviously he's a tight end, he can catch. So I definitely am really high in Burton, especially if those other two are out. If those other two are out, he probably becomes chalk, but very good chalk. And then, obviously, you've always got your kickers as value and stuff like that.
Which I think the kickers are in a good spot. I think both
Yeah.
kickers are in a good spot tonight.
Yeah.
And Blankenship, I just looking, he's only attempted 2 field goals in his last 3, but before that, he went from week 2 to 5. He was averaging over 13 DK points a week. So I think both kickers, Blankenship and Gostowski, are both in play.
All right, and then I know you had one last value play that you wanted to talk about. Can you talk about Anthony Firkser?
Yeah, I like Anthony Firkser a lot. 2,200. I think he's dirt cheap, and especially with A.J. Brown, who I do like tonight, but Brown does have a tough matchup. I like Firkser a lot. With Adam Humphries being out tonight, the last time Humphries was out, Titans actually ran 2 tight end sets, so the Titans actually benefited more than the receivers did. And especially now with Michael Pruitt is also out, Firkser is going to be playing more and seeing more targets. I mean, I could definitely. Last week he saw 6 targets against the Bears with Humphries out, and I see him definitely getting 6 targets again this week, which at 2,200 is a great value for that price. So get Anthony Firkser, and I can see him even being in my cash lineup tonight. Probably my lowest price in my cash lineup.
It makes a lot of sense at that price. And then one last thing, who do you like as your GPP captain?
My GPP captain tonight is A.J. Brown. I love A.J. Brown. He's priced a little bit high, 15.6. He's priced like an elite wide receiver, but I think he is an elite wide receiver now. I mean, he's last game 9 targets, 4 completions, a touchdown. I mean, the guy's a complete stud now. Touchdowns in 5 of his 6 games this year. I mean, yeah, he's been getting there on mostly big catches and touchdowns, but come on, the guy's averaging 22 DK fantasy points since he returned from week 5. It is a tough matchup, but I'm all in on A.J. Brown tonight. And I think he should have a big enough game where he should be able to catch a touchdown tonight and get enough points to lead most of the scoring tonight. So I have Derrick Henry as my cash, and I have A.J. Brown as my GBP captain.
I mean, it makes a ton of sense. A.J. Brown's got a very high ceiling because of those big plays. He's got, obviously, besides Derrick Henry, he's got the most big play upside. So that'll do it for our plays that we like tonight. We're going to have another chat tonight in our free Discord. It'll be a little bit more in depth, so if you want to come in, listen to that, join us on Discord. We'll be talking much longer, getting really into a lot more plays. For this, though, we just wanted to give a nice quick summary. And then the last thing I would say about these showdown slates, especially NFL, is really think of a game narrative, how you believe this game's going to go, who you think is going to win, how are they going to win it, and that's really going to help your builds. Got anything else, Pete?
Nope. So tonight, 7 o'clock, we'll have a chat on our Discord for college football and NFL tonight. We'll also have our live podcast at 10:30 for college football. So we have a lot going on heading up to the weekend.
All right, check that. The Discord link will be in the description. All right, thanks, guys, and good luck.
Good luck.